What is going on, guys? It is your boy Kelly Mac on the track. No work, bring it back, and we are back with Strawhat Sitdown, episode 136. I'm here with the gang, as usual. You feel me? We got that boy Strawhat Mod in the building. No Cam today, but he's still here. What's going on, brother?
What's good, y'all? I missed the last couple of episodes, but I'm happy to be here. And shout outs to my wife for a happy anniversary. So
yes,
right. How was your trip, man? I hope you enjoyed it.
It was good. I wanted to go to the because I remember he hit me up about the all blue restaurant.
Yeah, the One Piece restaurant. Yeah.
Yeah, we end up not being able to go, but I definitely want to roll there next time. It's probably next year with y'all. Maybe if I go to Combo Breaker or something.
That's got to be the move, because my plan was to go there when I went to Combo Breaker this year, but that also fell through. So one of us got to make it there. We got to make it to the all blue, man.
Well.
The gold, Mister.
Wait. Let me introduce you first from the start. Nice to have you back. We appreciate you, brother. Next, of course, that boy Mr. J in the building. Go ahead, man.
What's good, y'all? So speaking of the old blue, I actually got to go to the old blue on this past Monday. Shout out to my job for sending me out to Chicago this week for a few days. We're doing some renovation in the Chicago office, so that was pretty cool. So my wife and she came with me, and we got to go to the All Blue, and that was pretty cool. I got to meet up with one of my old high school friends. He was my outside hitter, for 4 years. So that was awesome. My boy Ricky, huge One Piece fan too. So he was asking me questions. So it was sick because in high school we were into Naruto, Dragon Ball at the time, and then One Piece came later on, in college for both of us. So being able to reconnect and share the love of One Piece with each other was awesome.
Yes, sir.
And, yeah. So I got to go to the Old Blue. Awesome. The hibachi was all right, but the sushi was good. So if you're into sushi, definitely go check it out. And it was just nice seeing everything. You got mad figures. They had the music playing. So and then just seeing people into One Piece, that shit was awesome. So yeah.
That's fire. That's definitely fire.
Yeah.
All right. Last but not least, that boy Wyatt's in the building. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? I'm chilling, bro. I'm genuinely vibing. Not gonna lie, just been chilling. Played some basketball this week. Watched some good movies.
My fault. I'm sorry. I literally couldn't resist. That was crazy.
You broke my ankles, bro.
Yeah. The mic broke for a second. That shit was crazy.
Oh shit. That's good, man. That's good.
Yeah, I'm chilling, man. And the break sucks, but I hope Oda is feeling better already.
Yes.
I already heard he is.
Yeah.
Which is good. So yeah, man, we're gonna have a good time. Rank some One Piece fights. Get it.
Yes, we are indeed. No chapter this week. We also, before anything, we're hoping Oda is having a safe, healthy recovery. We know he came down with a sudden illness, and that's why he couldn't drop a chapter this week.
Yeah.
But we are hoping that he recovers smoothly. These mangaka knee breaks, man. I think we talked about this before, but if Oda went on a monthly schedule, would y'all be upset?
No, I mean I'd be understand. Every other week, I'd be cool. You know what I mean?
Especially since we're at the end now, you don't have to rush it.
Yeah.
You're already here.
But I also see at his point though, because he doesn't want to waste any more time with his family. You know what I mean? He wants to kind of get this wrapped up so that he could just spend the rest of his time with his family. But it's just it's a crazy dilemma that he's stuck in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's what the final saga strikes me as. He literally said we gotta wrap this shit up, and the pacing reflects it. So I guess I completely agree. I would not care at all if he did bi-weekly or once a month. I read a ton of manga that don't come out or come out once every 3 months, right? Yeah. I think Black Clover does that now.
Yeah, that's true.
So it is what it is, and we're lucky to have this at all. So yeah, that I don't know what we can do to help make that better, but maybe just pay for the manga app or whatever. Hopefully they get better schedules or whatever. But yeah, hoping.
I don't think that helps anything, but it is very.
That's what I'm saying. They gotta pocket that shit, keep running the mills.
Yeah, if he wanted to pace it at once every 2 weeks or something like that, I'm honestly not mad at that, because I saw some disgusting things where some people were saying like, hey, at least have the ending before you go or something like that, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, bro, y'all crazy. Like, ain't no way that I care more about like the ending of One Piece than like Oda's recovery. Like, that's just fucking insane.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's online shit is crazy, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Definitely open. Oda gets a smooth recovery. We get a chat next week. We'd appreciate it. If not, it's okay, man. Take your time. We'll be here.
Yeah, we got you, Oda.
Yeah, right. And the Strawhat Sitdown got you while you want break too, so don't worry about it because we have some fire content for you guys.
Always.
In light of a chapter today, we are going to do another bracket for the best One Piece fight.
Let's go.
I think we have a bracket of 32 different fights. If this number is representative of that, I'm gonna assume that that's what it is. 32 fights, ranging from the beginning all the way to, I believe, Egghead. No, it doesn't. Not are there not Egghead fights here?
I don't remember seeing one.
Yeah, Garku's on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's from beginning of One Piece to Egghead. Yeah, so it should be interesting. Any judgment system ranking? What are we ranking based off of? Or we just going in?
I thought we were just saying like, you know, which one was a better fight in the sense of like, you know, just what you prefer, what you enjoy.
Sound like we just going in. Say less.
Yeah, we're just going in. We're going in, and then if it's 2-2, then we'll just do our usual
coin flip. Yeah, coin flip ain't never let us down.
Yeah.
All right, let's get it. If this ad could get the fuck hello.
They've been going. They call me the ad, and I have you block Origin on, bro.
Like, smack the shit out of me. All right.
First
fight is Garp versus Kuzan against Luffy versus Bluno.
It is fucked up.
That is fucked up.
I mean, I think there's a clear answer though.
Yeah, it's definitely the left one, but I will say, Luffy and Bluno versus Bluno. That's the first time we see Gear 2, and that was fucking awesome. So but the Garp versus Kuzan, that shit is. They dapped up, bro. We saw a dap up in the fucking anime. Like, that shit was crazy, bro.
That's the only reason why I would vote for this, because I think the anime put this fight leagues above what it was in the manga. Not that it was bad in the manga. I did enjoy it in the manga, but the anime really put the emphasis on this 100%.
Facts.
The anime makes it like untouchable. In the manga, they were boxing too. This nigga put him in a fucking hole, bro. Like,
yeah. No, they were definitely boxing. I think the anime just added the emotional aspect. It really had me emotionally invested a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Luffy versus Bluno, even though like I said, like the introduction of Gear 2, it was a fucking stomp. You know, So
I give it great too, because he also said like, I'm glad that I fought you guys, because now that I got this new power thanks to fighting y'all, I don't ever have to worry about losing my friends again, which was iconic. Like, that was iconic.
200 chapters later, Sabodi Ashfalago.
Yeah. It didn't age well, but you know.
But still, it was goated. Captain Luffy, man, that's the arc where it starts coming out. So
100%. So Garpu's all right.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Nami versus Khalifa against Sanji versus Queen. Sanji versus Queen.
Yeah.
I don't think this is hard. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that clears.
It was cool seeing Nami do her thing, but Sanji versus Queen, bro. That shit.
Yeah, this shit was
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think Sanji versus Queen. One thing I like about it is that it's like a culmination of like his character development. And Whole Cake.
Yes.
Facts.
Absolutely.
I like that. Like, it's such a perfect. It's like that moment where he steps on the canister is.
Yeah, and I do think that's gonna be a theme amongst the best fights in the series is the emotional resonance of the fights, because I think those are the fights that peak the most. One Piece knows how to do. Oda knows how to do those.
And I think that's perfect with this next round right now, right?
Right on the nose.
Yeah. Frankie versus Senor Pink and Luffy versus Magellan. Me personally, Frankie versus Senor Pink. That fight was one of the best.
Yeah,
well, for Frankie fights, yeah.
Yeah, Frankie versus Senor Pink. That was great. And I will throw in like the Luffy versus Magellan fight. it was just scary. It was
Yeah,
scary
it was.
because Magellan was just like you knew the series was the foreshadow of how strong he was, and that like Luffy shouldn't be fighting him. And Bone Clay was telling him like, "Hey, we do not need to fight this guy. We should not be fighting this guy. Run!" And Luffy still fought. Oh my goodness! He said you were going to die. Like,
Yeah, bro. Long behold, bro. Yo, Magellan kicked his ass, bro. Yo, Magellan OD powerful, bro.
Yeah.
I hope he comes back. I hope he comes back.
Yeah, I'm
I don't know
interested
how,
to see
but-
if he has another role in the story. He was definitely mad cool. Unfortunately, I do think that the left one is better as well.
Yeah.
yeah.
Frankie Senior Pink, man, it's classic.
Oh, classic, bro.
Luffy versus Doflamingo against Zoro versus Kaku.
Rip Zoro because
Yeah.
Luffy vs. Doflamingo is like
Yeah.
one of my favorite fights. Shit is fucking crazy.
This shit
Luffy
was
versus
peak.
Doflamingo for me.
Yeah, and then the Gear 4 reveal on top of that, it was.
Yeah,
Oof.
Gear 4. I was honestly surprised about how strong Doflamingo was. Like, low-key, I thought that like Luffy was gonna. When I first saw him, I thought that Luffy was going to defeat this man, but like he put up a way better fight than I thought.
Yeah. And that's facts, but I will say it's actually another thing that kind of catches me off guard about just Rosa. Like maybe I don't know if it's on a reread or whatever, but like when Luffy goes Gear 4, Doflamingo does not stand a fucking chance. He only like the only reason he didn't cook him the first time is because he ran out of time. Like it's crazy how strong Luffy got during the time skip. It's fucking nuts.
Well, yeah, no, that's so true because this is like the first time we actually see Luffy like really push out his full power. Like his training from Rayleigh,
From
right?
Skip, from
Yeah,
Fishman
you know.
Island and then Punk Hazard. Yeah, it wasn't. He didn't have. He had the form since he came back to the crew. But this is the first time he had to use it.
We could hate Holy Jones with that shit. Like,
he could have ended this shit so early. That's actually crazy.
Bro, he was holding back, bro. He was fucking gatekeeper, bro. Like this is wild.
Yeah. It kind of reminds you of like East Blue, right? Like the beginning stages of Post World. Like,
that's a great one, man. That's a good one, man.
Yeah, because before with East Blue, he was dog walking everybody until he got to a certain point, But here it's like, okay, I'm dog walking everybody basically until I get to this point. Then it's like after this point, then that's where it's like it's a real struggle bus, and then you gotta like kind of get a little lucky here and there, but.
I think he was dog walking the entirety of East Blue, right? I think he.
Yeah, I think Crocodile was the first person.
No, it was Smoker.
Oh, Smoker, yeah.
So I guess that's the end of East Blue. It is technically still East Blue, I guess. Yeah.
I barely consider it a fight, even honestly. But...
Yeah. Luffy was Doflamingo. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, bro. There's Zoro Kaku. Can't even. There's nothing. I can't even remember it, bro.
I just remember Usopp.
Zoro versus King against Yamato versus Kaido. This is not hard. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna be a hater.
Oh, go ahead.
It sounds like it wasn't just me, but I will be a hater in that I think Yamato and Kaido. My thoughts on this fight are tainted because I really feel like Yamato in Wano was like a plot device for Luffy to be defeated, and Kaido not to kill every single person on the island while Luffy was down. So to me, it's like I feel like it's like kind of I don't want to use the word lazy, but it's like it's tainted to me. Even though the fight itself is kind of sick, they're crashing blows. Yamato's putting up a fight. She used like that shield of hers, her iron skin. Like it's actually a good fight on paper. But I'm a hater, so I would never vote for it. And Zoro vs King is good.
I do like Zoro vs King better. Anyway. I'm not necessarily mad at Yamato being used the way she was. That might just be me not being a hater because I fuck with Yamato so much, so I might just be on the opposite end of the spectrum. But I do think Zoro vs King clears. This fight was ridiculous. Probably the second best fight in Wano.
The Conqueror's hockey, like, come on, man.
That shit was I remember we popped off that chapter when he got the Conqueror's hockey.
Yeah, we did. And King's efforts in the fight was also pretty awesome too. Because the first time we saw like Lunarian how they fight and how they typically like battle. I thought that the whole thing was epic. And then you get Zoro, the King of Hell, the panel right there.
That is nuts.
This is one of the most fire Zoro panels easily.
Yeah.
And we just talking about the monster Netflix thing, and the one King uses his like he summons a dragon to fire or whatever. But Zoro's attack is the same attack Ryuma used in the Wanted manga and Netflix adaptation. Like, it's so sick that Oda pulled that out of the bag to give to Zoro to defeat a dragon, right? It's fire. Just fire.
Yeah.
103 Mercy, right? Or something
Yeah.
Yeah, so that shit was fire. Zoro King, bro.
Yes, sir.
Zoro King. All right, Whitebeard versus Akainu and Zoro versus Mihawk.
Oof.
Ooh.
This is hard.
Well, I'm giving it to Zoro versus Mihawk
I knew you
would. Only because like Whitebeard versus Akainu, while awesome, it was very
It was business.
I don't know. It was like it just felt like, you know, it was 2 hits and it didn't surprise me per se. You know what I mean? Like Zoro versus Mihawk, that was you know, that had setup, that had like so much build up. Like, you know, Zoro wanting to find the world's greatest swordsman, then we find out about a person named Mihawk, then he's there. And Zoro was wrecking in East Blue. So you had no reason to believe that the fight was going to be so one-sided as it was. Like,
what are the coincidences that Mihawk would show up there, yo? What if it deals with the whole Luffy being around Luffy and imagination and all that shit, you know? Realizing their dreams. So they're like, oh, fucking, here comes Mihawk, you know? Like, that's the fact that Zoro got to face him so early on, just to see the difference, to know what level he has to get to, was crazy, you know?
Yeah. Because the man pulled out a pocket knife and he had the nerve to say
that was his necklace, bro. That was OD.
Yeah, and then Zoro was like, you taking it to? He's like, I mean, I would find something smaller, but this is the best I could do. And I was like, no way.
Yeah, he was hitting him with nasty lines the whole thing. I think he said like use like a cannon to hunt rabbits. It's like, nigga, relax, bro.
You swayed me. Zoro versus Mihawk. I'm with you, man.
Yeah, that shit was like, that shit is one of the most like, I can never forget that fight. Like, never. Like, it's just, it was so mind-boggling at how fast. And he's like, you a big fish in a small pond, boy. Like this ain't. He said, this is the weakest of the seas. Like, I'm like, jeez, bruh. Like, this is crazy.
He cooked him, bro.
Yeah, so I'm giving it the Zoro versus Mihawk.
Yeah. Plus the declaration at the end, like this panel that they used to show it, was like, I can't watch it without like, you know, almost tearing up. It's so good.
Right. Yeah.
All right, Zoro versus Mihawk. I'm fine with that. Next we got Strawhat Pirates versus Oars and Luffy versus Kaido.
Oh, stop! Luffy versus Kaido. It's not even close.
Yeah. I will say
it sucks. Yeah, it kind of sucks that it's like, because I think it's a fun fight. I read it recently. Like, they fought their heart out.
An underrated fight was definitely Straw Hat Pirates versus Oars. It was like their first kaiju fight. Like, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Also, there was like unprecedented and not gonna lie, like not like we haven't seen it even since, like levels of teamwork from the Straw Hat Pirates as a collective. Like, we got to see that more, I think.
Until Egghead, when we saw them.
Well, hold on. We saw Kuma. Sorry, excuse me, not Kuma. Pacifista. When they teamed up. But
I genuinely meant like 10v1 type shit.
Yeah,
like, I'm not sure we would ever see that again because they're too strong for that.
That wasn't a full team up.
Pacifista, they all fought one. I remember. Oh yeah, I guess they did.
They literally all fought one, and they were dumb salty because they thought they like stopped Kuma himself, and then to come to see another one. Obviously, it was a pacifista, but still, like just. They were all using their strongest attacks. They were like, they were in sync.
Oh, you talking about Sabity pre-time skip?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot that shit.
I did too.
That was my supposed to watch.
That's fair. That's definitely fair.
But you're right. Yeah. And honestly, that's like an arc apart, right?
Yes. The arc after.
So I wish we see more of like combining attacks, like because there was like, you know, like I think one of them throwing Sanji up. I think Zoro might have thrown Sanji up and kicked, you know, its shoulder or his shoulder or whatever. There was so much like working together. Physically.
And we get that again in Egghead when they're fighting against the Gorosei, protecting Robin, right?
Yeah. There's some sick moments of like groups of them for sure.
I'm really excited to see in the anime. And then we see Jinbei throwing fucking Zoro. against
Yeah,
Diaz,
that's exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly. Yeah.
and doing the Colossus Wolverine fastball special. Like that shit is OD, bro. Like, so I'm definitely excited to see that when that gets animated.
For
But
sure.
in this instance, this Zoro versus Kaido, that shit.
Luffy versus Kaido, but yeah, no, this is
Luffy
literally
versus
peak,
Kaido.
one of the most peak fights in the manga. Like, can't argue that one.
Facts.
Luffy versus Arlong, Law and Kid versus Big Mom.
Damn.
I got bias here. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Going
What are you
Arlong, right?
biased towards?
No, I'm going Law Kid.
Okay, interesting.
I love.
Why are you
this
biased
fight.
towards this?
Why am I biased towards it? I think Law and Kid are just two of the sickest characters.
That's
And
fire,
to
I
see
respect
them, I just thought the fight was just so cool. And then they waking the devil fruit, like, it was one of the coolest fights to me. I love this shit. I can't lie.
Yeah.
That fight was fire.
Yeah.
I think one thing I really like about the fight is that like it's become so hockey centric, I think, like, you know, and just pure power level. But the devil fruits like abilities on display in this fight were crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they were combining their abilities. They were like kind of being like a bit tricky, you know, and how they were moving and stuff. Like it was sick, and a kid using his magnetism in a lot of cool ways. It was fire, bro.
Yeah. I will say the only thing that kind of soils the Law Kid fight is that there was a lot of complaining about Big Mom showing her true power, because we saw her.
Oh yeah, I do take a point away from
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember there was a huge controversy about how they won this fight, and it didn't even feel like Big Mom actually went all out, because we didn't see Awakening, we didn't see Conqueror's Haki used, even though she clearly has it. But I mean, judging it based off of like the merit of the fight itself, I will say there's a lot more cooler shit that's happening in Law versus Kid versus, like, you know, Luffy versus Arlong. So I'm gonna still go with Law and Kid for me personally.
Yeah, as meaningful as the Luffy versus Arlong was, you know, at the time, him defending Nami and stuff, that was cool. But Law and Kid versus Big Mom was OD.
Yeah.
Yo, Kid pulled out a giant laser, bro. It don't get cooler than that. Like,
Dude, that shit.
pulled out the bazooka laser. Like, that's so cool, yo.
Yeah,
And
that
then
shit
you
was
see
OD.
Law, and then you also see Law use Kuzan's ability, or not Kuzan,
Corazon.
Yeah. That shit was fire.
Yeah.
Okay, Law Kid.
Yeah.
All right, halfway through round one, Zoro versus Mr. One, Ace versus Blackbeard. I think I got Zoro. Yeah.
I'm gonna go Zoro versus Mr. One.
I don't think it's close.
Okay,
actually,
no, I had to make sure. Okay, yeah. This fight is too teed.
Yeah.
Mister?
Yeah, no, I agree. Because the Ace versus Blackbeard was off screen, like.
Yeah, we barely didn't even see it.
Yeah.
What we do see is really cool.
Yeah.
But we don't really get to see the clash at all.
No, but Zoro versus Mr. One, bro, we were like, how is he gonna beat this dude, bro? And Zoro just said, I'm gonna just do better, bro. That's it. Like,
yeah, a lot of people would argue that he used hockey here too to find his sword. One, and some radical people would tell you that he used it in this cutting steel. I don't know about that. I'm just saying, like, he definitely had some form of superpower. Like, he tapped into it here.
Tapped into something. Yeah. That's possible.
I mean, I see people make that argument, and I just so disagree. Just because, like, you know, this was never brought up in the same context ever again. Like, ever again. It would be different if Oda, like, had it where, like, Mihawk was training him and was telling him about, like,
cutting everything but cutting nothing or something like that.
Yeah, or like tell him the concept of hockey, and then Zoro thinks back to this moment and was like, so that's what that was that I did, or something alluded to that. He never did that. So I'm assuming that's sure, maybe Oda took the concept early on, because, you know, hockey was still like new for Oda.
Yeah.
And he was probably thinking of it on the side. So he probably took the idea of hockey and incorporated it into, you know, into the Breath of All Things or whatever. But I don't think that it's the same thing, like some people try to.
Yeah, I wouldn't completely conflate the two, but I do agree. Like, if that's what Oda was going for, I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, I think this fight is just ridiculous because, like, Zoro is getting cooked, and the end. I wish they showed the end panel, like the last movie used versus him, because that shit is tough. And he tells him that, like, he thanks him in advance because when I'm able to cut steel and beat you, like you won't be here to see it. I'm like, yo, stop, bro.
Yeah.
That is so tough. So Zoro versus Mr. One.
I will make a little bit of a case for the Ace versus Blackbeard thing, just because this was the first time we ever saw Blackbeard use his Devil Fruit. So I don't remember. I don't know what y'all reaction was when y'all first saw it. I was surprised as hell personally because he took away Ace's Devil Fruit ability.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, I think the shock factor of that alone can keep it in the running personally. But you know, I just wanted to point that out because you know I didn't want to make it seem like it's just a blowout. But
that's fair. Yeah, it definitely has a lot of highs. But I really like the Zoro Mr. One. I think I would have it a lot versus a lot of others. I have pretty high tier, but Ace versus Blackbeard is also pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely Zoro Mr. One, at least for this matchup for sure. Next up we have Usopp and Chopper versus Mr. Four and Miss Merry Christmas, and Luffy versus Gecko Moria. No, this one's confusing me. Is this?
Don't remember either Luffy, though. Not gonna lie.
Well, Luffy fought Gecko Moria, but wasn't he not able to do anything until he became Nightmare Luffy?
No. So what the order of events was? Oars was out there, right? And he was wrecking. And then Luffy came out as Nightmare Luffy.
Right.
And then after they defeated Oars, all the shadows were not all of them, but I think Luffy's shadow was returned. And then Gecko Moria stepped up to the plate. Luffy wasn't Nightmare Luffy at this point. And then he started taking shadows and absorbing them into his body. You know what he did, like in Marineford. He did that, and Luffy went gear second, and I think he used gear third. I think, and he basically knocked the shadows out of his stomach, and especially from defeating him or whatever. Because you see in that panel in the lower
middle
left,
middle one.
Yeah. That was from him absorbing shadows. So, Luffy was knocking shadows out of his stomach. He was losing power, and then Luffy, I think, finished him off.
Oh my!
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I got Usopp Chopper, bro. Usopp Chopper. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd probably Usopp Chopper. I'm not gonna lie. Luffy vs. Gecko Moria does not leave.
I'm sitting here listening, like, yo, I don't. Like, I was so it wasn't not you, but just listening to it, I'm like, yo, I'm so uninterested. Like, this was not doing it for me, bro. Yeah, I got Usopp Chopper. I remember Usopp Chopper fight. That shit was good.
Yeah,
I do remember this one.
It was one of the first Usopp coming into not being a coward moments.
Yeah, and it was Chopper's first big fight too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that one.
Yeah, I got Usopp Chopper. Yeah. Luffy versus Katakuri against Sanji versus Mr. 2. That's tough. It's unfortunate.
That is kind of tough.
I do like the Sanji versus Mr. 2 fight. That was a good fight.
Yeah.
That was a great fight. But
that was a great fight.
It's unfortunate. It's versus
Luffy versus Katakuri might be one of the best fights in the manga, you know, so.
Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing I can even say.
Yeah.
I think the Sanji versus Mr. 2. Damn, I don't even know if I can even say it has more depth though, because I get what they were doing. Like Mr. 2 kicking guy, Sanji kicking guy. One has like, I mean, they both have honor, but they both kind of, you know, fight in their own like, you know, martial arts and everything. And Luffy versus Katakuri has like that same dynamic too, kind of, because both of them are stretchy guys. They both willing to protect the things that they love. Like, damn, so I can't even say it beats it on a depth level. So,
and I think Katakuri's backstory is like one of the most hard hitting ones. Like about wanting to protect his family and stuff. He's just a real ass nigga, and the ending is amazing. The ending is one of the best, where he gets up and he's like you're gonna come back here and defeat be Big Mom, huh? And Luffy's like, yep. And then And then he's like, all right, I'm gonna see you then. And
He said, "Yes, nah, that line
look
is
at
broken."
yeah, you know the line. I didn't want to fuck it up. You got it, bro.
He was like, "You're seeing very far into the future," and then just falls on his back. That shit was so fucking peak, man.
Yeah.
That line gives me chills every time I hear it. I can't lie. That shit was so good. Yeah,
and you remembered it too.
Yeah, but
You
mad
remembered it
respect
too.
to
That's
the
yeah.
mad respect to the Sanji Mr. 2 ending though with that because you know they still had mad respect for each other and stuff at the end of that.
I think one thing about Sanji and Mr. 2 is that it's like I'm more the point about Sanji is that they're both kind of soft guys. You know what I mean? They're kind dudes. You know, they have a good heart. So yeah, I think like that's a sick fight. It's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
Truly unfortunate. Oh, Luffy Katakuri takes it.
Yep.
Nami versus Mrs. Doublefinger and Luffy versus Usopp. Yeah, Luffy's Usopp.
Luffy versus Usopp, easy. I mean, no, well,
Nami turned up in this fight for sure.
Yeah, she did.
She did.
And this was her first time. This is her first big fight too. Yeah. So I guess we shouldn't take that away from her, especially because she was still learning the.
We are gonna take it away from her.
Hey, come on.
She's out of here. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Usopp is just ridiculous. Like Usopp actually put up a fight for a little bit.
Yeah,
very surprising. Yeah. But then Luffy delivered him the harsh reality. What he's saying. Yeah, he's literally saying in the panel.
There's no way you could defeat me. And again, the emotional resonance, the aftermath of this fight, with everybody crying, Zoro telling him to step up, lock in.
Just and he's obviously the best arc in One Piece, bro.
Yeah, man, it's too broken. Yeah, Luffy versus Usopp, for sure. Next we have Kiros versus Diamante and Zoro versus Kuma.
Okay. Are we adding the ending of Zoro versus Kuma, like the him
pain?
Going to the bubble?
Are we talking specifically fight only?
Nothing happened.
Yeah, are we adding nothing happened? Because if we had nothing happen, I'm sorry, Kiros, but.
I can't lie, even without that, I got Zoro Kuma, bro. I think this one attack is so fucking hard, especially it's in the context that everybody got defeated. It looks completely bleak. Everybody's knocked out. Luffy's unconscious. Everything is going to shit. And Zoro comes out of nowhere with the random last-minute ditch effort, strongest attack, and just slices his blade up. This guy who previously couldn't be touched for the whole last chapter before this. Nobody could put a single hand on him.
I'm gonna be the contrarian in the room. I'm gonna give it to Kiros versus.
Well, that was just my opinion. We don't know how everybody else feels, but yeah.
Because I agree with you, Mod.
Okay.
Because if they add nothing happened as like part of the emotional charging of this fight, then I understand. But you're about to go ham as to why Kiros versus Diamante is so hard hitting.
I ain't gonna lie, I barely remember this one.
Like Kiros versus Diamante was so like coming. That was so foreshadowed. It was ridiculous. And Kiros Diamante had it coming with Kiros. What he did, like when he killed his wife. Fucked up his whole family and all and their dynamics. He was a toy. He had to let this dude who murdered his wife like for years chill in the background until he can actually like do something. And he still has his one leg fucked up Diamante up. Oh man, that was peak.
And that's not just that, but he also imprisoned his daughter. You know, like he was using her for sport and shit like that. And at this moment, he was attacking her, right? Because I think she was fighting, and Robin was backing her up, and then here came Kiros, and he took the hit from Diamante, and then he just fucked them up, bro. Like,
yeah, you can see the spikes coming down, and this is where Robin is holding a
tree of flesh,
an umbrella of trees and like that, and shielding. Yeah, but Robin doesn't have enough to shield herself, but she's shielding Rebecca, and Kiros is like, "Yo, we can't just play defense," and he's like, it's like he's saying in the panel, "This is my fight," and he walks out and he fucks Diamante up because, like you said, Mon, like there was so much due justice from Kiros.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best way of putting it. So much due justice and I'm in his way.
Give it to him, bro. I definitely think Kiros versus Diamante. If we're not counting nothing happened.
Yeah,
nothing happened to me is like, and I like to me, I don't think that's like a part of the.
Yeah, they stopped
look at that as part of the fight. Yeah, I look at that as like a result from this fight in the sense, but it's not like actually a part of the fight, you know.
Even though this attack is fire, Shishi song, I remember that shit.
Okay, Kira's versus I gotta rewatch that show. It's been too long. I ain't gonna lie.
Bro, that shit hits, man.
Luffy,
That is such a good arc. Oh my god.
Luffy versus Lucci the first time versus Robin versus Black Maria.
Actually, damn, these are some good. This is a good versus. I feel like we're gonna be split on this one.
I actually don't think it's close. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, really?
Wait, this is not the
No.
first time Luffy versus Lucci. Or you meant like Ennie's lobby? Okay.
And he's lobby, yeah, the first time they
Yeah,
fought.
I thought you meant in the.
Oh, wait. You mean like literally? The
Yeah,
first
me.
time
I
they
think
fought?
me and Maud. I thought that's what Callie meant. When he said the first time, but
'Cause
we're talking
I-
about Ennie's
'cause-
lobby.
Yeah, because when he said the first time, I'm thinking
You
like
thought
the
he meant
second-
on Water 7, right? Like when
That's
they
that's
fight
what
in
I
the
thought.
in Iceberg's mansion, right?
No, I thought
Okay.
this is Ennie's lobby, right?
Okay, what shocks me is that you thought it was Luffy versus Lucci on Ennie's lobby and Robin versus Black Mirror, and you said it was close. Because Robin versus Black Mirror is a good fight. But Luffy versus Lucci.
I said, yeah, no, I do think it's close because they both have shocking moments that, like, you know, I think are very noteworthy. Like Robin with her new form,
Even
and
form,
her
yep.
and learning Fishman karate. Apparently, like
Yeah,
that
that
was
was nice.
awesome.
That was
I
fine.
thought Brooks' interference when he ran defense for her and against Black Maria's underlings and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty good.
I actually think this is probably the best fight, or it's actually not probably. It's by far the best fight of the Flying Six.
Yeah,
By the way,
exactly,
very
yeah.
forgettable ass group of individuals.
Yeah.
Well, but yeah, this is a
The
this is a
Topi
good
Roper,
fight.
right? The Topi Roper.
Yeah, that's what they're called. But yeah, this is a fight, and even the beginning is really really good when Sanji asks Robin for help. And by the way, I read on Twitter
and
that
then
some
she
lame ass
comes
niggas.
in. Yeah.
Yeah, I've recently read on Twitter that some lame ass niggas have that as a bad moment for Sanji, and I think that's like shockingly telling.
That's
on yourself.
crazy. That's absolutely
Yeah.
crazy. That's
Especially because, like, you know, they were those people that think like that, they were thinking like Black Maria, like, oh, you calling on your teammates, that's trash. Like, you calling on a girl to fight for you, I thought you were a gentleman, all this other shit.
Bro,
But
genuinely,
no.
so much of One Piece is lost on those people.
Yo.
Yeah.
actually
No.
insane. Like, how do you really just not absorbing the same information?
Yeah.
Like, it's
Right.
actually
But-
nuts.
Mon, facts. And you know what's funny? I completely agree with you. I don't know why. I just feel like Luffy vs. Lucci to me is so like I don't know if it's how hard fight it was. Maybe it's the anime because I think the last hit in the anime, the Gungan Gatling at the end, is one of my favorite One Piece moments. I think the emotionally chargedness of like Usopp telling him like, "Yo, you can't give up here. We're all going back together."
Yeah.
I fuck like that shit.
Yeah,
that shit is
yeah,
like crack cocaine.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Luffy. I mean, I was probably leaning Luffy versus Lucci anyway, but I thought that like because of like the other shit in the Robin versus Black Maria fight, that it might make it like a split thing among us. But I guess everybody.
I would have gone with Robin versus Black Maria. It's one.
Next
I like. That's one of my favorite fights that she did. One of her main fights, really.
Yeah.
And she got to show out, which was pretty cool. So.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm glad Robin gets.
She showed like two forms. Like she showed the Gigante Floor, and then she went Demon form too. Like things that we haven't seen, and then also the Fisherman karate that Mon mentioned. Like it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do
exactly. I thought-
really like that fight. I do.
Yeah, I think it's
this
an
is-
unfortunate matchup. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
I think in
that's
another
the
matchup,
like-
it definitely could have
Yeah.
won.
Right, I think Robin versus Black Maria has a very strong showcase. Like it's a
Great.
very strong showing. Like.
Absolutely.
And like you said, Huss, the best of the Flying Six, which you said is the Flying Six fights where a lot of them were
Yeah, it's
forgettable.
like a pretty low bar, but still, I think Robin vs. Black Mirror is like a really, really good fight. Like even like forgetting that. I would like if number wise I give it a 9 out of 10. I would just give Luffy vs. Lucci an 11 out of 10. Like
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
I agree.
And yeah, that's fine.
All right, Luffy.
Wait, Mod. Okay, well I guess we ended
That's
up.
fine.
With
Oh,
Luffy.
sorry.
You sweat.
Luffy versus Crocodile, Usopp versus Perona. I don't think this
So
is
Luffy
a.
versus-
I don't think this is a right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I was trying to think
just-
like
just
Usopp or not.
Wait, do y'all want to talk about it or just go first past this?
There's only so much I feel like with Usopp versus Perona. It's
I
funny,
do
and he was
think-
chasing her around the mansion and stuff.
I do think outside of it being comedic, I think it was really good. I think it was a very clever way of Oda to use Usopp's character to gain advantage in a fight like this. Like,
Yeah.
would have never seen it happening this way. And no, it ended up comedy. Like, I thought it was actually a real clever way to do it, for sure.
He's
Yeah,
like
it's a good point. In its genre of fight, it's really, really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's true. It's like the classic Hulk meme where he's like, "I'm always angry." It's
I'm
like, "What's
always
up?"
angry.
I'm always negative. I'm
Yeah.
always
I'm
negative.
always
I'm always
negative.
negative, Cap. You know. And then, so yeah, but definitely Luffy versus Crocodile. That's
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, last fight of the first round: Luffy versus Anel against Sanji versus Jabura.
Jabra.
Oh,
This is hard. I'm not gonna lie, this is really hard. You know what? If we're talking purely fight, I like Anel as a villain. I think if we're talking purely fight, I think Sanji Jabura might actually take it.
I think so too
Sanji,
because yeah.
yeah. Go ahead, Mister.
Oh, you guys keep talking. Give me 1 second.
That's fine. I was just gonna say like it just became very one-sided once Enel realized that Luffy's a rubber man. He can't do anything to him, you know. And like I was just like, it wasn't as interesting. He just kept trying to cheat his way out of it, you know. It wasn't an actual fight, you know. So, but
The Sanji versus Jabra fight wasn't that much of a fight either, low key. I mean, Sanji was kind of like walking over him when, especially when he turned up when he first showed whatchamacallit? What's the
Diablo
move
Jump?
called? Yeah, Diablo Jump. And
Diablo Jamble.
yeah, and he turned up on him and it kind of sent him packing. Which I think Sanji needed that little redemption because of the fact that he refused to fight old girl earlier and had to make Nami take the mantle for that. But Luffy versus Enel, I don't know. I'm kind of split because Luffy versus Enel, even though the lightning didn't work and we thought like, oh okay, so Luffy clears. Enel was still kind of giving him a little bit of trouble. Like, he had the metal rod and the gold rod. He was using his electricity as a heat conductor for when Luffy tried to like take the rod from him and shit like that. Like, and he melted the gold around Luffy. Like, that was pretty cool. His use of hockey and observation hockey in the fight, and Luffy doing the gum like, what was it, dumb brain or balloon brain, something like that.
Yeah, he just stopped thinking.
Yeah, just stopped. Yeah, I thought that was fun. Like, so I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna probably say Luffy versus Enel.
You really talked yourself into the other opinion. That was actually crazy, bro.
Yeah.
You started the conversation on one side, and then by the end, you're on the other side. That's actually nuts.
I'm really open-minded. Like,
that's fair. I respect it.
Great trait. That's a great trait. I think I'd also go Luffy versus NL. I don't know if this counts as part of the fight, but the ending is fucking amazing.
Yeah,
when he,
the ending is amazing.
The bell. Yeah. And then, the rest of the people on Jaya see come on, stop it.
When Nolan hears it, that shit. I'm gonna have to give it to Luffy versus NL too. That ending is OD. That shit brings me tears to my eyes, bro.
That's one of the best ones, man. One Piece is so good, bro.
One Piece is peak. Right, it's gonna be the first round. We're going into the next round. We have 16 fights left. Frankie versus Senior Pink and Love and Kid versus Big Mom.
I think it's actually tough.
I do too. Maybe not. I still got Love and Kid, but I'm biased. So.
Yeah, I'm biased with the Senior Pink versus Frankie. This is the backstory of Senior Pink. Learning about his family, losing his wife, his son, like why he dresses up as a baby, that shit. And then the fact that he's against Frankie of all people, who's one of the most compassionate Straw Hats on the crew. Because this dude, me and him very similar. We just start crying about everything. Like when he was crying when they were saving Robin, like he's like, he even mentioned it recently in the recent chapter that he's gonna cry when he sees Robin meet up with Saul again, right? So it just hits a different way. And the fact that they have such mutual respect with each other, but they kept fighting. That shit was golden, man. That's
I definitely would go. I would, even though I like Law Kid is a great fight. I think I would go for Frankie versus Senior Pink. It's just it hits so hard emotionally.
It does, man. That shit. It's just crazy.
So for me, I do love Frankie versus Senior Pink because of every reason that you guys said. But if I'm looking at it as like the fight itself, in the terms of like
fighting.
Yeah, what I'm more excited to see. While I would go back to this, I'm more inclined to go back to Law and Kid versus Big Mom because that just has too much going for it, in my opinion. Because Roof Piece, this started from Roof Piece, and it led from like all of them versus Big Mom and Kaido to 2-on-1, and the fight for this was super anticipated. And on top of that, there was just a lot more. Sparky boom shit happening. So
facts.
Yeah,
Senior Pink versus Frankie is definitely a more emotional fight than like a showcase of like cool shit.
Yeah. So while I do love it, I'm gonna probably go with Law and Kid.
Yeah, I think we're in like the round of great fights now, so I think like we'll be
Yeah,
the road probably a lot more there.
I would like to put it for Frankie versus Senior Pink, but if we're going with the fight, like good fight, then it would have to be Law and Kid versus Big Mom.
Like stand your ground,
If
bro.
I'm being no,
So
it's not being unbiased. No, I mean I do prefer it as a fight, but I mean it's just if we're talking about fighting, like
yeah, but we're adding like that's why Luffy and Eno was voted last round.
I'm about to say the emotional impact is allowed to you're allowed to stand your ground on that just off of that alone. We could do the coin toss. It's no problem.
I think we should.
Wait, you get a chance.
Wait, who else has Frankie and Senior Pink?
Me, brother.
Oh,
myself.
okay. All right, fine. Then I'm staying with my pick.
All right, coin flip it is. Heads Frankie Senior Pink, tails Law and Kid versus Big Mom. And it's heads. Frankie Senior Pink. Look at you go. Zoro versus King and Luffy versus Kaido. That's tough.
Damn.
That's tough.
It's tough.
Actually, nah, it's not tough for me.
Yeah.
What am I lying for?
Real nigga, man.
No, I mean, it's
Luffy all day, bro.
It's tough for the Zoro versus King fight because it's out of here.
Yeah, it's out of here.
Yeah, Luffy versus Kaido for sure.
Easy.
Damn, that
Truly unfortunate. Yeah. Garp versus Kuzan against Sanji versus Queen.
Garp versus Kuzan. I mean, you know what?
The instant breaks.
I had to pump my brakes because I'm emotionally charged already because it's Garp and Kuzan, and while Sanji is a remarkable character, I think Queen is the least relevant character of the batch.
That's Frankie's dad you're talking about, dude. Sorry.
He's one of them.
But the only problem with the Garp versus Kuzan fight, the only issue is that it doesn't have the longevity of the Sanji versus Queen fight. Like that was a full-on in-depth fight, like full-on from start to finish. Garp kind of got cheated out of this fight because of all the extra interference and shit. So it's hard to call it based off of fights. Because honestly, if you're going back to Sanji versus Queen, you're going back to that because you loved all the cool shit that Sanji was doing in this fight. Like, with the exoskeleton, the super speed movement, and the
blue flames and shit.
Yeah, blue flames and everything, and all of that. You go back to Garp versus Kuzan. You're going back for a good fight, but it's not like you're going back for like, you know what I mean? Like it's
like 19 chapters of like uninterrupted. Quabble. Right,
exactly. Yeah. It's just so much interference that happened in this fight, so it's hard. It's cooler on paper versus than Sanji versus Queen. Like on paper, it's cooler, but
let me ask you something. If you take the anime out of both of these options, pure manga only, which one are you picking?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a great question. That's a great question. Because I think it illuminates that Garp vs. Kuzan is much briefer than you like to remember.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. Then I'm gonna probably go Sanji versus Queen. Then, I'm gonna keep because like just that it's uninterrupted. It's Sanji's full fight. We haven't seen Sanji in a full fight in like
a minute,
a long time, like really, really long time. So this was needed, and he needed the W because people were shitting on Sanji, saying like, "Oh, he ain't done shit in post time skip and all this other shit." So this was pretty cool, and the power up Oda gave him, and the little conundrum he was also dealing with on the inside with being like his brothers
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah,
Like his old self with his like who he's supposed to be, like, you know, yeah. And he just like I agree. Sanji versus Queen.
Yes, sir.
All right.
The ending is also good. He gives him a fucking Devil May Cry ass combo in the end.
Yeah, that shit was gas. That shit was definitely gas.
Yeah.
All right. Next round.
Yeah,
let's try
to talk about this, right? Like,
yeah,
nah. Let's try Usopp and Chopper, but Luffy versus Katakuri.
Yeah, 100%. Luffy versus Crocodile. Luffy versus Usopp.
That's a good one.
Luffy versus Crocodile.
I like the ending of Luffy's Crocodile a lot. Like that way he punches him through the fucking ground. That shit is so hype.
I ain't gonna lie, I got Luffy versus Usopp here.
I respect that.
I think one of my main gripes with the Luffy versus Crocodile fight is the unrealism. Is that a word? Unrealism?
The unrealistic?
No, but that's not the word. In the sense I'm trying to use, it's not. It's.
I don't think the word you're looking for exists.
Okay, you're right. It's unrealistic how Luffy continued to get up so many times. Like,
lucky
I think that takes away from this a little bit to me.
There's also that stupid moment before the last section where like he just sees a random stairway into the ground. He's like, that stairway looks crocodile-like, and it's like, how did you know that?
Yeah.
And that's where the crypt was. But then again, that's Luffy's instinct. Shout out to Little Garden.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean.
But here's the thing, though. When you think of Luffy versus Crocodile, is it explicitly talking about the first time they fought, or is it talking about the combination?
It's a combination. That's we did the same thing. We did the same thing with every other fight that's been in multiple parts. We're talking about the overall fight.
Yeah. Okay. So it comes to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There were a lot of times where he got lucky.
He did. And I'm not gonna lie. I didn't like the blood thing either. Like coating his hands in blood to beat.
I kind of agree with that too because because he had streaks of blood.
Yeah,
it's not like his entire body. Although I understand how it's hard to draw that or portray that, but from my inference, it's like he had streaks of blood coming down his body. It's not like his body was his fist was covered from head to toe in a liquid, like when he had the water on him. You know what I'm saying? That was showing his entire body, arms, fists were covered.
He didn't need it though. Like he didn't need to have his whole body covered in blood though. The streaks were good enough for him to get a solid punch on Crocodile, just a solid punch.
All right, so I just need Crocodile to make me bleed a little bit next time I see him. I punch him, and then like I don't know, it just for me it was like a poor showing for Crocodile. Like it just made it a little too easy. Yeah, you know, I mean it was creative at the time, but I was
gonna say I think it's also like pretty fair in the sense that like he should not have lost to Luffy. I kind of get what you mean, in that sense.
Yeah,
I will agree with that because I do think that this fight has always fucked up Crocodile's like standings in the One Piece like grand scheme of like power scaling and strongest and stuff because he has way better showcases after this fight.
Yeah,
and clearly he didn't train because he was in prison. So it's like
he was in those push-ups, bro.
the push-ups.
He was doing.
He's over here clashing with Mihawk. He's clashing with Doflamingo equally, and all this. This fight is a stain on Crocodile's career, but
100%.
It is. 100%.
But and then Luffy got lucky. So yeah, I get it, but it was also surprising too because this was the first opponent that Luffy couldn't dog walk. You know, East Blue leading up to this. He was kind of, getting lucky, and obviously, he fought Smoker, but I don't know. The Smoker fight did seem more
like a skirmish.
Yeah, it was certainly more like a skirmish than like, this. And then Crocodile basically declaring like, "Hey, this is the grand line. This is what it means to fight someone of my caliber, a warlord, etc., etc." This was to me the almost equivalent of like. Of Zoro versus Mihawk, you know what I mean?
Okay.
because this one actually had like full on serious consequences because Crocodile, was going to kill him, like legit, holistically. But
So what do you got?
it's hard.
Yeah.
I'll go Luffy vs Crocodile as well, just because like I think the grandeur of it, is like it, like you said, it's a big ass villain, first like really really big arc I think, and also I think the ending is fucking amazing. The symbolism of Luffy punching Crocodile from underground into the air is like the symbolism of like bringing the underworld nefarious schemes that were threatening the country into the light. Yeah. I think that I love that shit.
Yeah,
so
and I do
I'm gonna go
too.
Luffy
So
Crocodile.
yeah, I'll do that too. I love Luffy versus Usopp. That was impactful as fuck. But I think it's because of the arc that, like, if it's from start to finish, Luffy versus Crocodile, Crocodile was such a menace after he defeated Luffy, and he was like on and he was messing with King Cobra and Cobra and Vivi and everybody. Like, yeah. I'm gonna do Luffy versus Crocodile.
Or 2-2?
2-2?
Yes,
Yeah.
2-2. Flip it.
All right, well, you know how it's happening.
All right. I should have just left the thing up. Coin flip again. Heads, Luffy vs Crocodile. Tails, Luffy vs Usopp. And heads takes it.
I just want to say I've been on the winning team every single time.
Yo, you love to see it. That boy Wild's lucky. Zoro versus Mr. One against Zoro versus Mihawk.
It's funny that it's both Zoro fights.
That's interesting. I'd probably give it to. I don't know actually.
I don't have a choice actually. Like I want to give it to Mr. One, but this is fucked up because I think Mr. One is like as a fight is so good. I think it's better, but Mihawk versus Zoro is like so formative.
It's too strong. Like it's too. It still has the cool. It still has cool fighting. You just don't see Mihawk trying. But the thing is that like. So this was at the Baratier, and Sanji was like convinced that Zoro shouldn't even be doing this fight. Like he should prioritize living over his ambitions. And this fight was to show Sanji that chasing your dreams sometimes is more important than just being content and staying where you are, living like mundane life, because you probably have greater purpose in that. So the Zoro versus Mihawk has so much stronger implications, symbolism, everything. So yeah, I'm personally doing Zoro versus Mihawk for me.
Me too.
I'm gonna go with that one too.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't have Zoro versus Ryuma.
No, they weren't gonna fit all of them.
I think surprisingly, I feel like a bit of that fight is Loki. Nah, we see a lot of it.
We see a decent amount of it.
Yeah, we see a good amount.
Yeah.
It's just shorter than I remember.
Luffy versus Lucci against Luffy versus Enel.
I'm
Luffy
going
versus
Lucci.
Enel. Yeah, Lucci.
I got Lucci as well.
Me too. Me 4.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
Last fight of the round, we got Luffy versus Doflamingo against Kyo's versus Diamante.
That is fucked.
Yeah.
Kyo's fight is now punching above his weight class.
Yeah. Luffy versus Doflamingo.
He got one round. That's cool.
Yep.
He fought well. Oh, I almost clicked the wrong one. All right, we're in our round of 8. It's gonna start getting real here. We're starting to break it down. First up, we got Luffy versus Lucci against Luffy versus Katakuri.
I almost said Lucy.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I wouldn't have been wrong. This is hard.
Yeah,
it is pretty hard. Luffy versus Lucci was great because Gear 2nd showcase, Gear first time we saw Gear 3rd fully, like actually, they scrapped like pretty well. The symbolism, everything. Luffy versus Lucci has everything. It has everything. But so does Luffy versus Katakuri.
Yeah.
And I think Luffy versus Lucci has some cool like dynamics between the two of them. Like the exchange when Luffy says, "Why don't you just chase Robin?" And Luffy says, "If I do, you're gonna go the way I came from and kill the rest of my crew. So I have to stop you right here." And Luffy admires that captain quality and says, "I wish I could tell someone on my team that." Talking about Spandam, because Spandam's a fucking scrub. Like there is some cool dynamics, but I think the dynamics between Luffy and Katakuri felt much more impactful. I think they felt like they were only beefing because they had to. You know, they respect each other very much in the end. And I think Katakuri's sincereness came through because there's always the fight got interrupted, but actually it's because of that gives Katakuri the opportunity to have the most real nigga moment of all time, where he stabs himself to make up for Luffy getting stabbed. It's just, I think
that shit was crazy,
bro. Greatness, bro. It's too good, man. I have to give Luffy Katakuri. I think Katakuri's backstory is also a difference maker in this fight.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I like the dynamic of Luffy and Katakuri, but I think I like the setup more of Luffy versus Lucci, because you got to remember Katakuri kind of came out of nowhere. Mind you though, he badass out of nowhere. Like, he was just chilling and whatnot, and he flicked that thing at Sanji, like, bruh, my goodness. But shit, it's hard because they both have good choreography. I just think that the Luffy versus Katakuri was so one-sided early that it does kind of, because I think Luffy versus Lucci was like through and through was like perfect from beginning to end. But Luffy versus Katakuri turned up hard as hell, like especially when he did Gear Fit Snake Man. So I feel like I need a coin flip just to choose.
Mark of a good round, bro.
This is a good round. What do
yeah, I was gonna say, what do you guys think, Mr. Cali?
I said Katakuri.
I think this is very hard. I might need to do the same thing. This is really hard.
It's actually really difficult. I think in the chat, Isabel Shade said Luffy Lucci. Very fair. Like, it's like these are. When this round came up, I was like, "Oh, it's time for these uncomfortable conversations."
Lucci was from earlier. Was from before, right before.
Oh, around before. Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like these. I just realized that now I'm gonna have to think about what are my favorite Luffy fights, because there's still the Kaido one coming up.
Yeah, for sure. I think I'm gonna go Luffy Lucci.
All respects.
You know what?
Gun to your head, brother.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just be different and just say Luffy versus Lucci right here. Because I just to be clear though, I feel like I love them both just as equally, but I just have to make a choice here, and I'm trying to stir the pot. So Luffy versus Lucci, so we can do that coin flip.
Coin flip.
Let's get it, man.
All right, coin flip it is again. Heads Luffy Lucci, tails Luffy Katakuri.
I got White with me. I got White with me.
Let's go. You do, baby. Let's go.
Let's go, dub, baby.
Yo,
this is rigged, bro. Yo, are you sure he's doing the right thing, bro? Like,
he had to have cheated, bro.
Yeah,
the counts.
The weighted internet coin goes crazy. All right, next Frankie Senior Pink Luffy Kaido. Oh, Frankie, it's been real. Frankie, you fought well, man. You fought well.
You, my good boy.
Yeah, Luffy Kaido here for sure.
Yeah.
Luffy Kaido choreography is so crazy.
Yeah. Luffy Doflamingo, Zoro, Mihawk. I'm not gonna lie. Zoro, you had a good run, man.
I kind of agree.
I agree.
He had a good run. He had a good run.
Yeah.
All right, last fight of the round. Luffy Crocodile, Sanji Queen.
Well, I think Sanji Queen's gonna make it.
Yeah, I agree.
Damn, bro. Yo, Zoro King would be up here if it didn't go against Luffy versus Kaido.
Yeah, Zoro King got a bad matchup. It's unfortunate.
Damn.
Some randomized seeds, man. All right, we are down to the final four. Yep, final four. Luffy versus Doflamingo against Sanji versus Queen. Sanji had a good run, man.
Yep.
He had a good run, Sanji. Yo, it's been real, man. You fought well. You fought well.
That's crazy.
Hey, am I wrong though?
I don't think you're wrong, bro.
No, I think you're right.
Sanji had a good run, man.
Okay.
Luffy,
I think this is
Daffy-
the height of like emotional meaning versus like Sanji vs Queen is like like that is its strong suit, I think. But rest in peace.
Yep. R.I.P.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you, Sanji.
Yeah, you
Luffy, Kaido.
I'm going with Luffy Kaido because we're talking about holistically, right? Like,
Yeah, we gotta. It's
Gear
from rooftop,
Kasaki.
from roof piece to gear fifth.
Yeah.
That shit is peak, man.
That shit's peak.
Well, I mean, I guess we're not counting original roof piece if it's just Luffy Kaido, right? It would be after everybody left.
Yeah, still
But even that, yeah, for sure.
Even
I'd
that
still
I
give
would
it to, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's gonna lead us to our grand finals, which will be Luffy Kaido versus Luffy Doflamingo.
I think most of us agree.
Yeah.
Louis Doflamingo had a great run, I think. Even though I it made second if we all agree. Luffy's Kaido is just too good, I think.
I ain't gonna lie, I got Luffy Duffy.
Real nigga, I fear.
I have Luffy Duffy, 100%.
There's just so much.
Speak to that, brother.
There's so much weight to it too, though.
I think that the Luffy Kaido fight was absolutely spectacular. Gear 5th reveal was peak. I think there were also a lot of caveats within the fight and the arc that left me and a lot of people with questions and wanting more. Well, specifically for the fight, but yeah, I feel like Kaido wasn't fleshed out enough as a villain compared to Doflamingo. And I think that while the fight was a spectacle, it lacked the depth that Luffy Doflamingo had. Also, I'm also biased because Doflamingo is my favorite villain. So yeah,
I would argue that like despite Kaido's lack of character depth so far, until we get more of that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That I would argue that Kaido was built up very well as like a boss character.
He was.
I would argue that like that would be like what kind of makes up for it, even though I completely agree Doflamingo is probably still the best villain.
I would also I would not to devil's advocate you like that, but I would say that that's also to his detriment because he gets built up as this big bad villain and he is the big bad villain, but I think the build up is what led people to expect more from the character that
that was a great counter argument.
Thanks, man.
You put it, I'm not gonna lie. In fact, I really like the that part about Luffy versus Doflamingo. And actually, the only thing I would take away from Luffy's Kaido fight, obviously with the aforementioned lack of real backstory for Kaido, especially like we switched out the Katakuri thing. We're talking about Doflamingo right now. The history of amazing character story for Luffy villains was like a series of consecutive things. Even the Big Mom flashback was insane, right? The arc before this. So I think in comparison, it really didn't feel good. But the one thing I actually think is the difference maker for me is that in the end, I'm not a fan of the Gear 5 silliness. Like I truly think that Luffy versus Doflamingo, the demeanor in the end of like how much he fucking hated this guy, was so sick, bro.
I will say I did hate Dofi more than I hated Kaido. Even though what Kaido was doing to Wano was the worst, but I actually hated Orochi more than I hated Kaido.
Yep.
But Doflamingo, what he did to Law, his brother, the king, everything, like the way that he controlled people, like I just, oof, man, like Luffy hated Dofi, like what he was doing, and that shit resonated. So damn, I think Callie, I'm gonna be on your side on this one. I'm gonna go with the Dofi because that shit hit hard. Breaking the bird cage and everything like that. So,
is that 2v2?
I didn't.
Go ahead, brother.
That's so funny.
I hear you guys. I hear you guys so much. I love the Luffy versus Doflamingo, the symbolism, and everything it means. But fuck out of here, Gear 5th, man. Like Gear 5th.
Yeah,
my brain is too. My brain is too sparky boom. I'm too. The Gear 5th was crazy. I think like the Conqueror's Hockey coding advanced conference hockey for the first time in the series.
Under 10-10, baby.
Like, come on, it was just too much. And then on top of that, like the Luffy versus Kaido was surrounded by so much in terms of like, you know, the roof piece, like, you know, we take the roof piece up out of it. Like Kaido was just a monster on that on there, like just how he had to fight Yamato till Luffy got back there ready. How he was handling Luffy drunken fists, Kaido, like that shit was like, oh my goodness. And then when Luffy was geared forth, was about to end, and he was trying to clutch out a win, and Kaido was like, you're about done. Then you're in bigger trouble than I thought. I was like, no. Kaido is foreshadowing your demise. Like, bro, that shit had me on edge. And the Sparky Boom takes it. Like, Luffy versus Kaido was so much. Oh, and on top of that, I do agree that like his he did lack the character depth that Doflamingo had received, and there was some disappointment in terms of like, one, how Luffy finished him, two, the fact that we didn't see Kaido awakening, which is crazy because he's the king of the beasts and he didn't display awakening. I'm still on that train. Everything else just supersedes it. Because everything just I will die on that hill. Everything else just supersedes it. Like, we were all dummy excited when we saw all that. Like, it was just phenomenal. Like, that was peak time to be a manga chapter gore, because you couldn't wait to see every single inch of like what was happening from that fight, like from start to finish. So I can't say nothing because that was a part of Roof piece. But the foreshadowing of Luffy being like compared to like,
I swear to God,
Shanks,
Rufus is part of Rufus Kaido. I don't know. I counted it for some reason. That was peak. I'm not gonna lie. While Callie and Mister were talking, I was like, damn, I might vote for Luffy for Doflamingo. But I think the choreography of Luffy's Kaido, and I do still feel like he, despite, again, I'm definitely someone who has an issue with the character of Kaido, and lack of backstory, but I think he lived up to the boss nature, and he just gave Luffy a fucking amazing fight. So yeah, I think it is 2-2. I'm not gonna lie.
Seriously, like, the man did drunken fists. Like, oh my goodness.
And he is Doflamingo's boss too. He's the one that Dofi was scared of. You know,
like, bro, it's like, to me, it's like, it's not even close. But hey, you know, that's how it is. Like, yeah, I got Luffy versus.
I think this was the closest one for me though. Like, I was close to coin flipping. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, so 2-2. Is it coin flip?
I think it is.
Yeah.
Coin flip for the grand finals. All right.
That's wild.
Heads Luffy Doflamingo, tails Luffy Kaido. What a way to end it on a coin flip. Google, don't let me down.
Will we get the first tails?
Oh, God.
Yo. I'm just saying, man. Hold that.
I'm so tight, yo.
The double tails is crazy.
Double tails is actually fucking crazy, yo.
The gods have spoken.
And with that, Luffy vs. Kaido wins the best fight in One Piece bracket.
Damn, it's still one. That's crazy, bro.
That's actually nuts.
Oh, don't lie, man.
Do not lie.
The gods have spoken. They agree.
Double tails is actually nuts. I can't lie. I actually have to hold that.
The coin flip guys was like, yo, wait for the rocks flashback. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm weak. Yeah, it was definitely fun. Definitely fun stuff. Luffy Kaido is best fight for now. I mean, we'll run this back another time. You guys in the comments, let us know what you guys thought about what you guys think the best fight in One Piece is. Let us know why, etc., etc. Any last thoughts, comments, questions, concerns?
Ooh, actually, one question for you. Would you guys have any of the fights that we've seen in Egghead so far? Like up there?
Law Blackbeard, I'm surprised wasn't here.
Yeah, Law Blackbeard. Shanks versus Kid. Even just because of like the anticipation of that one.
Yeah.
I mean, both of those were fights, but were they fights? Like, you know, what
I
I'm
think
saying?
Law Blackbeard had more like actual fighting than one or two of the ones on here. Honestly.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Like they had like two chapters, like two parts of parts of two chapters were actually them fighting, like swapping moves, blah blah blah. He used his awakening in that fight. They actually kind of like scrapped a little bit.
Right, and you could have put Luffy versus Kizaru.
Yeah. Zoro versus Lucci.
I was hoping Zoro Lucci was here so I could dog him.
You could have put Luffy versus Lucci round 2 or rematch or whatever. Like that one was awesome.
Yeah. Then we got Gorosei, right? Luffy versus at least of Saturn, right? At first.
Yeah.
Then we have the team up with the Straw Hats versus Saturn as well. So it is still a few fights that they definitely have, and then S-Hawk versus Zoro. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what fights we're gonna get in the future. See how they stack up to what we have so far.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I was gonna say shout out to the chat. I think
Yeah, chat was very active today. Big shout
on YouTube.
Yeah.
Shout out to your boy SFL Shade.
Big shout out Shade the GOAT.
We appreciate it.
Big shout out to everybody hanging out on the YouTube and Twitch chat. If you're not watching these live every Sunday 12 p.m. YouTube at Strawhat Sitdown, Twitch at twitch.tv/Cali_Mac. I need to find a way to shorten that. But if you're not watching this live every Sunday at 12, you're missing out. Come hang out with us, talk to us in chat, etc., etc. Big shouts to everybody watching this after the fact on YouTube, Spotify Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, etc., etc. We appreciate you guys as well. I want to once again wish a get well soon to our boy Oda. Hopefully he is feeling better. Not sure if we're getting a chapter this next week, but we'll find out.
I think we're confirmed not getting one. I think next chapter is not this coming week, but the week after.
Okay. So no chapter next week. But the Strawhat Sitdown will be back next Sunday with some more side content, so make sure you guys tap in, show some love. Make sure you guys follow us on all our socials as well at Strawhat Sitdown on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter. You look for us, you will find us. That's about it, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. Yes, it's been real, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, take it easy, be safe, be healthy. We appreciate you guys, and we will see y'all when we see y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Strawhat Sitdown crew in the building. We Corona to these other podcasts. We gon' put these people in their feelings when they hear this, and they know that they can't top this. We spit facts and we poppin'. Every time an episode is dropping, we see D3 in the corner. Mister, that's a real G with the green screen in the background. Got him looking like he in a real scene. We got Big Mod in the cut. Always ready with rebuttals, but he bring the knowledge when we in the huddle, so you know the crew is never gonna fumble. That is why us, last but not least, if you ask me, then Cali, mad the captain, make him rally around me. Every Sunday we gon' run deep, and we can't stop until we find out about that one piece. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat Sitdown. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We